institution could be bullied, humiliated, harassed and taunted and disrespected.
The Uganda Human Rights Commission chairperson, Justice Wangadya, on Thursday appeared before the Parliament's Committee on Legal and Parliamentary Affairs, chaired by Bugabula North Member of Parliament, John Taylor, where she opened with an apology to the country over harsh remarks she made against fellow commissioners.
Apologizing to the country for the language I used, which I said is beneath my character. I'm sorry to all those I offended, but please know I had been pushed to the edge. The people who know me know that that is not my character.
Appearing alongside Commissioner Crispin Kaheru, who is also accused of frustrating the commission, Wangadya said she has spent the last 5 months under unbearable pressure that includes media attacks and smear campaigns on social media.
I have spent the past 5 months telling them that I am not in hiding, that there is no investigation on me, that I am not a thief. I have spent the past 5 months telling journalists that I'm not in exile, that I'm not on the run.
Wangadya explained why the commission has not held any meetings since March 2026.
They yell at me, humiliate, insult, and swear at me. They point fingers at me. Commission meetings are utter chaos. Each meeting I convene leaves me in tears. I have never known peace ever since I took oath as chairperson of the Uganda Human Rights Commission. By the time a woman in my situation picks a pen, places it on paper, and writes a letter resigning her job.
So, Chairman, maybe we can have a procedure.
Chairman, we have some procedural issues.
The chairperson further accused the 3 commissioners of attending meetings dressed in NRM attire and of receiving allowances for work they did not do.
They even wear party colors and symbols for official meetings, causing immense embarrassment to the commission.
Wangadya also explained the decision to dismiss the over 200 cases that had not been chaired by the commission, a matter that angered committee members who questioned her leadership.
Father Lokodo came in at the last moment.
She broke down a second time as she explained the circumstances that led to the death of Reverend Simon Lokodo in Geneva.
He stepped in because this commissioner who I had asked to travel to Geneva had declined. Mr. Chairman, I sent one of the members of the commission there, Father Lokodo, to represent us at that meeting. To date, I regret that decision. I had no idea how frail he was.
The Parliamentary Committee on Fiscal Infrastructure has handed the Managing Director of Uganda Railways Corporation, Benon Kajuna, to the Parliamentary Police over the disappearance of 394 railway wagons that went missing in Kenya in 2022. The committee is also investigating the expenditure of 55 billion provided by the government of Spain for the training of staff at Uganda Railways Corporation.
Officials from the Uganda Railways Corporation, led by the State Minister for Works and Transport, Julius Maganda, together with the Managing Director, Benon Kajuna, appeared before Parliament's Fiscal Infrastructure Committee to respond to issues raised in the Auditor General's report for the 2024-2025 financial year.
They have not even told us that a certain number has been recovered.
The other government doesn't allow to have your wagons.
Not even sure of how many wagons we have and the ones we lost where they actually are.
During the meeting, committee members chaired by Mwine Mpaka demanded an explanation over the disappearance of the 394 railway wagons that were being used under a regional railway arrangement involving Uganda, Kenya and Tanzania.
How can we get them back? Because now it has become, this is theft. You're stealing from a whole sovereign country. A wagon is not like a pen that got lost.
Actually lost 281 wagons for the Kenya Railways. This puts Uganda into disrepute.
Late in April 2026, we
jointly had a wagon census with Kenya Railways.
The officials told the committee that Uganda Railways had previously signed a tripartite agreement with Kenya and Tanzania to allow home movement of these wagons upon entry, but later disappeared in Nyahururu, Mombasa, in Kenya, forcing committee members to hand over Benon Kajuna to police CID for more investigation on the missing wagons.
The tripartite agreement, it indicates that if a wagon stays in Kenya for more than 90 days, then it is assumed it has been lost.
Don't really joke around. You're already on warning that they are going to call the police and you will be retained here.
These are now missing wagons. We don't know whether they were stolen. We don't know whether they have been sold. We don't know whether they're in Kenya. We don't know which country they are in. Responsible persons should be held liable.
It seems we are taking it lightly, but not looking at how much government is losing.
He's going to go and record a statement at police, and if he does not provide evidence within a week, the next time he reports, then we shall officially open a file regarding the disappearance of Uganda's wagons.
The committee also questioned the officials of the accountability of 25 billion shillings that was donated by the government of Spain to train Ugandan railway staff in capacity building.
The director who doesn't know how 80 million euros was spent.
Members further raised concerns over the management of Uganda Railways land, including allegations that part of the corporation's land had been allocated to businessman Godfrey Chirumira.
0.3% of the URS total asset base is secure.
The committee also discussed the increasing cases of accidents along railway crossings.
People are dying on those railway crossings, and they have been dying for several years.
All right, let's now throw some perspective on the committee work. Different committees do struggle with doing their work efficiently and effectively. And joining us through that perspective is Joseph Ocheno, who is a political analyst and UPC ideologue. Joseph, many thanks for joining us tonight on this program. Now, Parliament committees are always busy scrutinizing audit reports provided for by the Auditor General and looking into the dirt that is within government ministries, agencies and departments. However, there are concerns that there's interference, there's delays, there's lack of resources, that do disrupt this kind of work. How best can they operate without these disruptions?
Thanks for having me, Canary. I think you're asking a question which ideally should be an obvious one. Parliamentary committees operate on the basis of a quasi-judicial powers. Parliament does. Indeed, Uganda Human Rights Commission should. But if it is the case that these organizations cannot, enforce, the powers that has been given to them, in fact, by the law, it means that together with all the other arms of government, they're possibly meaning useless. I think with the new parliament, and considering the fact that we have seen some new ministers who come in who are now operating like police investigators going around the country, maybe there may be a new spirit. But quite clearly, I think the country should wake up and Ugandans should actually express, ideally possibly through the ballot, to tell this regime that whatever else is happening is completely unacceptable. The example that you're just giving at the moment is terrible. The recent incident, on railway crossing is quite a clear example of failure of systems. But really, Canary, how on earth can a railway wagon or a railway engine disappear between Mombasa and Kampala? A tiny little car cannot, a bicycle cannot. What would? The answer is there is a national impunity, and unfortunately, is basically a manifestation of a systematic failure. But as I said, maybe with the beginning of this, if parliamentary committee members know that they've got the powers, and for once they want to begin to operate independent of interference from either the executive or any other arm of government or particular individuals, let's wait and see.
All right, Joseph, look, there's always a time when the committees do their work, they do investigate, write reports, majority and minority. The reports are later shelved. Or even with all these recommendations, there is no proof that these reports can actually go on and bite. How best can you deal with such a thing, that it's just a recommendation and it stops there in a report?
No, parliamentary committees have got powers. And as I said, we need to be sticking some of this